Chelsea set to pull out of the deal to sign Xavi Simons. Is this an alternative to Xavi Simons? The transfer window is coming to an end, and there is a lot of transfers actually going on right now, especially in Chelsea and some other clubs, in and around Europe. But we're going to talk about Chelsea today, and Xavi Simons deal might be on the verge of collapse. But here's what is actually going on right now. Chelsea are turning their attention to another player. And here is a known player in Barcelona. But before we go ahead, if you're new to this channel, you know what to do. Join this family, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and let's get straight into it. Now, according to David Oyston, that's to tell you that the story is very true and very legit. It says, Chelsea are evaluating the possibility of a move for Fermin Lopez. Alright? But there is not currently club-to-club contact, but they are in touch with the players' camp and they are exploring attacking options in the case of exit. So now, before I actually talk about this particular story, let's read more tweets concerning this. Now let's move on to the next one. It says, Chelsea interest in Fermin Lopez is real. Okay, according to Barca Universal, Chelsea's interest in Fermin Lopez is real. There are other clubs interested. Bayern are also interested. So it's not only Chelsea now that are in the mix to sign Fermin Lopez from Barcelona. One more tweet concerning Fermin Lopez before we get into, I'll actually break it down. It says, Chelsea are assessing whether or not to move for Fermin Lopez. With a deal possible for 43.2 million, talks has taken place on the player side, according to David Oyston and Ben Jacobs. This is a concrete story. Now, when I first saw this story earlier today, I felt like Chelsea trying to play mind games here, because Leipzig are not budging on the fact that they want to release Xavi Simons. Now, Xavi Simons will cost an excess of £60 million, to get him over. But Chelsea want a reduced fee. But Leipzig are not willing to pay, to receive something less than 65 million for Xavi Simons. So it's getting very, time is actually ticking. Time is going at this point. So Chelsea needs to move for a plan B. And Chelsea are looking at Xavi Simons as a plan B. So this case is getting really interesting at this point. Now, for Xavi Simons, he wants to come to Chelsea. He wants to go over to Stamford Bridge. He has already agreed personal terms. His mind is already at Stamford Bridge. He wants to go, but the club is not releasing him. Now, Chelsea would have to sell a player before signing either of Xavi Simons, Garnacho, whoever wants to come over to Stamford Bridge. And the player that is holding this right now is Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku has to leave Chelsea before Chelsea signs any of this player. Now, Chelsea are making it known that this is the plan B. And now, they are making it known also to Leipzig that if you don't release Xavi Simons, we have an alternative. This move might not be a concrete move, mind you. This move might be a move that is trying to force the hands of Leipzig to release Xavi Simons for Chelsea at this point. Alright, now let's go into the player's profile and everything, because that's just been said. Let's go into the the main player profile. Now, for Xavi Simons, will he fit into the Chelsea starting lineup or within the Chelsea team? Absolutely. Is he a very good player? Yes. You must have seen his compilations. You must have seen his stats and everything. I have been watching Fermin Lopez in Barcelona for quite some time. He is one of my very best talented player in that squad, with the likes of Pedri, with the likes of Yamal. I have always rated Casado and Fermin Lopez because he is a very good midfield player. He has this kind of Mason Mount kind of physique. He has this kind of, we play more or less like Mason Mount, very energetic, very free flowing. He takes shots from outside the box. He's very energetic in and around the box. He finds a way to penetrate into the box with his energy, with his free flowing football, and it aims at targets. He's also a kind of midfielder that scores goals. So Chelsea also needs that different kind of player, attributes, different from Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, we all know Cole Palmer is a very cold player who takes it very easy and is very intelligent on the ball and all of that. Now Chelsea is looking for a different kind of profile to Cole Palmer. Somebody who can use his energy and his movement in and around the box to create chances for himself and to create chances for others as well. And Fermin Lopez and Xavi Simons fit into that kind of player. All right. Fermin Lopez is a very, very good player. Attacking wise, is one of the most talented player in that Barcelona team. I love him for how he plays this kind of football. Very, very good player. Now, he would fit playing against a team who plays a high line. He will fit playing against a team who come outside to play football. Now, when it comes to breaking down low blocks, I would recommend Xavi Simons. Because he has those passes, he has that vision, he has that penetrating passes that will break down defense. But for Fermin Lopez, when it comes to the energy, when it comes to putting on that marking those players and putting up those energy up front, and the work rate and everything, Fermin Lopez gives it to you. He also has those passes. Let's not forget, he also has those passes. This is a different kind of profile of player. The talent is there, the energy is there. He has the eye for goal as well, and he has those passes as well in the team. He's a very good player, no doubt. But this is how I differentiate this player. For you to penetrate and break down low blocks, you go for Xavi Simons. For you to attack and do a very good job against a high-flying side, against a team who likes to come outside and play football, then Fermin Lopez is your guy. Alright, so this is a very good transfer if Chelsea actually, goes ahead and sign him. But let's not forget, if Chelsea signs Fermin Lopez, Chelsea will be letting Xavi Simons go. Because you cannot, at this point, bring in Fermin Lopez, Xavi Simons, and Garnacho. How do you share minutes? So that will be a very big headache for Chelsea, unless Chelsea are trying to let the Garnacho deal slip. But at this point, Xavi Simons has actually shown interest in wanting to come to Chelsea. So let's see how that goes. Let's see what happens within this deal. Let me know what you think about Fermin Lopez. Would you prefer Fermin Lopez or would you prefer Xavi Simons? Please let me know and share your thoughts in the comments. It will not be more than 43.2 million per, that's over 50 million euros. To me, I think that's a fair deal for a player like Xavi Simons. He's already in the Spanish national team. He already has the experience. He already wins trophies. I think he was part of the Olympic team squad that won the Spanish side, the trophy. So he's a very good player, and this is a special talent. And if Chelsea goes for any of the two, this is a very, very good player you are getting, in this player. So let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about this particular story. So let's move on to the next story concerning Chelsea. Now it's concerning the striking position, which, for Nicolas Jackson. Now, according to Pletico, he say there is still no full agreement between Nicolas Jackson and Bayern Munich. Bayern and Chelsea are in contact, and it's difficult. Bayern wants a loan. Premier League clubs remain in the mix. Now, Nicolas Jackson has an interest in Bayern, Aston Villa, Newcastle. I don't know his preference. I don't know if he wants to stay in the Premier League or if he wants to go abroad. For Chelsea fans want him to stay in the to go abroad, actually, not to hurt Chelsea back in return when he stays in the Premier League. For Aston Villa, they have a striker already, so he will have to compete. All right. Now for Newcastle, they are suffering. They don't have a striker at this point. If he goes there, he will be the recognized number one striker, and he will be able to play in the Champions League. All right. Now he will also stay in the Premier League as well. If he goes to Bayern, he will play behind or the second fiddle to Tyrique. So definitely he will not be having consistent minutes. But due to the fact that they already let go of Thomas Müller, they didn't renew his contract, he will get game time. But he might not get it as much as he will get it if he goes to Newcastle. He's going to affect the team. He's going to score goals everywhere he goes. He's a very good player. 30 goals in 2 seasons without penalty. That is a very good player. But he doesn't take his chances in Chelsea. Thereby, he didn't work out in Chelsea. So, let's see what happens with Nicolas Jackson. I would prefer if he goes abroad and let him play in Bayern Munich in order not to hurt Chelsea. But this is a player that will fit each and every 3 clubs I've actually mentioned now. Bayern Munich, Aston Villa, and Newcastle. But to me, the club that needs him the most at this point, because Newcastle bid for Strand Larsen for Wolves was rejected yesterday. So at this point, Nicolas Jackson would be preferred, because at this point, Newcastle doesn't have a striker. Gordon has been red carded. Ursula is a third choice striker to Isak and Callum Wilson. So that would be a very, very good attribute. That would be a very good place for him to thrive. But let's see how that goes. Depends on who pays the better fee and who pays, who agrees better, better wage package. But let's see how that goes. Let me know what you think concerning Nicolas Jackson and share your thoughts in the comment. Let's move to the next story quickly, concerning Garnacho. Now, according to the Guardian Sport, it said Chelsea could go up to 40 million for Garnacho, including add-ons, in an attempt to get the deal done. Let's move further. Chelsea made a further contact over the weekend regarding Garnacho, but the club evaluation or the club valuation are misaligned. United wants 50 million, while Chelsea value him at 35 million. Now, let's move on to another tweet concerning that. According to the Guardian, it said Chelsea have a higher desire to bring in a winger, meaning Garnacho is seen as more of a priority than Xavi Simons. Nkunku needs to find a buyer, or he will stay as a number 10 option for Maresca. Chelsea now want to pay 35 million fixed fee for Garnacho, but Manchester United want 50 million. They have pointed out to Chelsea that Elanga and Madueke's statistics are inferior to Garnacho. Chelsea could go up to 40 million, including add-ons, in an attempt to get the deal done. I was watching one of Garnacho's compilation today. I don't think he's worth up to that amount. Let me be actually honest. Garnacho is not worth up to that amount. He might be young. He might have a good prospect. He might have a good future ahead of him. But to me, I don't think Garnacho is actually worth the amount Chelsea sold Madueke for and what Elanga was actually sold for to Newcastle. He's a talented player, no doubt, but his finishing skill is not there. He's still a raw talent, and he doesn't have what it takes to start, to be number one starter for Chelsea. That's what I think. You might think differently, but I don't think he's worth more than 35 million at this point. Probably with add-ons, maybe 40 million. But to me, I would have preferred a better out-and-out winger who is much more experienced than Chelsea. But we all know, obviously, Chelsea wants a younger player for a resale value in case it doesn't work out. That is just the way Chelsea does their business. But we've spoken so much about Garnacho over and over and over again. And the priority for Chelsea is a winger, not just a number 10, a winger. But let's see what happens concerning this deal. And let me know what you think about this Garnacho's price tag. Do you think he's worth 40 million, or do you think 35 million is okay? Because Manchester United are asking for a fee worth up to 50 million. Let me know and share your thoughts in the comment. And let's move to the last story for today concerning Chelsea's winger, Tyreke George. Now, according to Fabrizio, it says AS Roma and Chelsea will be in contacts. It will be in direct talks for Tyreke George on Sunday. Chelsea favor a permanent move with heavy sell-on clause, as Roma are in talks with both club and the player side. Still no changes on Jadon Sancho's stance at this stage of the window. So AS Roma wanted to get Jadon Sancho. He refused. He doesn't want to go over to Italy and play for AS Roma. Maybe based on the fact of wage structure, whatever, I don't know. But he doesn't want to go. He rejected a move to AS Roma. Now, AS Roma are turning their attention to Tyreke George from Chelsea. Now, for Tyreke George, this would be a very perfect move for him. First in football, an elite club in Italy. He might play European tournaments. Let me know if I will check if Roma is actually playing European football this season. But that is a very good move for him if it happens. Chelsea definitely will put a high sell-on clause, probably 40%, sell-on clause, like they did with Chukwuemeka and all of that. This is a very, very talented winger, but he will not get his minute at Chelsea. And if he goes abroad in a slower league where he could have time to adapt, where he could have time to showcase his skill, playing in around experienced players around him in AS Roma, I think that would be a very, very good move for him. This is a talent Chelsea cannot afford to lose, but he will leave on a permanent deal. But I think he's going to thrive over there in Italy. But I think this will be a very good move for him. It will be he will have time to adapt. He will have time to showcase his skill and all of that. Most of the Chelsea talents are actually moving to Italy. Tomori moved to Italy. Abraham moved to Italy. Pulisic moved to Italy. Most of them are going to Italy. This should be a good move for him. Let me know what you think about this Tyreke George move to AS Roma. And that 40% sell-on clause, perfect deal for Chelsea if it happens. That will be all for today's transfer stories concerning this. Let me know what you think about Fermin Lopez, Christopher Nkunku, Garnacho, Jackson, and Tyreke George. Share your thoughts in the comment. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, join this family until I come your way again next time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.